Okay. Well, greetings, one and all. Hope y'all doing great. Here I go again. Talking about something I probably shouldn't be talking about. But here we go. Rep Your City. Shout out to everybody on Facebook over there. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to all my people over there on Twitch. And to all the brothers and sisters and people on YouTube. Here I go. This is another conversation that's going to be on From Kemet to Chicago, my other channel. I'm going to be talking about this in more depth. So I'm not going to go into the depth of this, but I'm going to keep it close around Diddy. I am going to have to make some examples. But I'm not going to be able to go all the way into it until I make my presentation over on the other channel. So make sure you check out From Kemet to Chicago. I will be talking about this subject broader. Okay, we have San Francisco in the building. We got New Orleans in the building. We got Greensboro, North Carolina. We got Brinkston over across the water in the building. Right. We got London in the building. We got the whole world in the building. So I was listening to the Diddy trial. Right. We got Vernon, Texas in the building. Salute. Salute. Everybody rep your city. Let's give respect to these cities and towns, states and countries. I've been listening to this Diddy trial, and it is definitely a lot going on. Definitely a lot going on with that. There's an element of the trial nobody's talking about. We got Vernon in the building. There's an element of the trial nobody's talking about. I'm going to talk about it. It's really kind of deep. People are looking at it, but I don't think they know what they're looking at. I don't think they really understand the bigger picture, what's going on here, what's really going on with that. It's way deep. I'm going to wait till the trial is over, and then I'm going to go into the depth of that. But over on Kemet to Chicago, from Kemet to Chicago, I'm going to go into the bigger picture on a global scale on what's going on. Today, I'm going to go into a small part of that. I'm going to break down what's going on behind the scenes, like what this is really, really all about. This is really, really about something much bigger. For real. If you just think about it, a whole bunch of people knew what he was doing. A lot of people knew what he was doing. He was attacking Cassie in front of a lot of people, seeing him do it. Lots of people knew exactly what he was doing. Lots of people were there. Lots of people were there. The people talking about he innocent, they have no idea what they're talking about. They have taken a big situation and they have isolated a little piece out of that situation and figured out how to clean it up so that it won't overspill into the total situation. Because I know some people know that this is bigger than what they're saying. Okay? Come on now. You really believe this is that small like that? Seriously. You think he was just walking around acting like that and he's like the only one in this just small, isolated situation? You think those hotels let him come in there and do all that? If they ain't been letting people come do that more than just him? Just think about it. He's coming in with bathtubs filled with oil and he leave the rooms are soiled. And he's paying a lot of money and they change the carpet or clean the floor, bring in experts to clean the room. Y'all believe that y'all believe these hotels, they just did that just for him. Who believes that? You believe that he was the only one and they made a special arrangement for him, as young as he is, comparatively speaking? Who he learned it from? He just made that up. He just made all that up. Cincinnati, Ohio is in the building. Y'all believe Diddy just made that up? He just came into the music industry and he just decided, I'm going to do all this crazy stuff and get away with it. Nobody's going to know. Everybody's going to come. Everybody's going to be around, but nobody's going to know. Who believes that? Okay. Mary, it is trafficking. It is trafficking. It's trafficking. He's trafficking her. Yeah, it's trafficking. That's another thing, Mary. It's trafficking, and people act like they. You understand? Well, people don't know what trafficking is. So that's the problem, Mary. They think they don't know what trafficking is. When you go to work, don't you go get into traffic? If I drive you from one part of town and take you somewhere else against your will, I'm in traffic, right? That's trafficking. People think trafficking is like flying off. No. No. Trafficking is taking somebody somewhere else from here to there against their will or using force or using coercion. So if I got your daughter, Mary, and I'm taking her from hotel to hotel, and you put her on the stand and she say, and you think that she went along with me on her own, but then you find out I'm beating her up. Oh, that's trafficking. Because as soon as you find out I'm beating her up, that's coercion. That's force. That's force. That's force. You can't say he's beating her up and she's doing this. You can't say both of them. You can't say he's beating her up and she's doing this on her own free will. You can't say both of those. She's either doing it on her own free will or he's beating her, making her do it. It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways. Not necessarily, it's how you do it. If I got an adult film star and she walks in here and does this on her own, that's not trafficking. But if I beat her up and I live with her and she's my woman and she's constantly going to the hospital, that's not the same thing. If she was just going over there doing that, right? If she was just going over there and doing that, okay, you can't handle a conversation, leave. If she was just going over there and doing that, that's one thing. We talking about the law. I got somebody talking about the jury. We just talking about the law. Okay. What I'm telling you is facts. We're gonna get to the justice system because this person is acting like the justice system is righteous. I'm gonna talk about that too. So if you come and saying the justice system gonna let him go, and you're saying the justice system is righteous, I thought we had a justice system doing slavery. That was human trafficking. Slavery was human trafficking. Slavery was the same thing he was doing. They was using whips and stuff on us to make us pick the cotton. And so you can come out there any day and see us going to pick the cotton, and it look like we go on our own free will. If I'm right. If you went and you seen black people getting up and going out to pick the cotton on their own, and you didn't see the day they was getting whipped and beat that got them into doing that, you would say they're doing it on their own, right? If you wasn't the day they was whipping them and beating them. If you wasn't there the day they was whipping them and beating them, it would look like they want to do it. But you got to understand, if it's 20 of y'all, and I take one of you and whoop and beat that one, I don't got to beat y'all. Y'all going to go do it. That's coercion. It's illegal. That's coercion. If you don't think he broke, if you don't think he was trafficking, I don't know what to tell you. You probably don't know nothing. You probably don't know much. That's human trafficking. Okay? It was human trafficking, aka pimping. And when you're pimping and you start going to different states and stuff like that, then you're human trafficking. Yeah, he's human trafficking. He was doing more than that. Bondage, all that. He broke a whole bunch of laws. Now we're going to get into good and evil. You can see people come over here, right? We're going to get into that whole thing. This conversation is probably not for you because I don't really argue with people on my platform. I just say what I'm going to say. So this is what we do. You come back tomorrow. Yeah, come back tomorrow. Maybe somebody else want to listen to you. Yeah, come back tomorrow. I'm not doing any of that anymore. I'm not doing it. That's all over with. When I come and lay a presentation, you want to disagree with the presentation, I got to get you out of here. I'm not doing that. I'm not letting somebody that's not putting in as much work as me try to go toe-to-toe with me. I'm not doing that. You got to go put some work in. I'm not going to just let you sit on your phone and just talk to me and not put work in. We're not equal. We're not even. We're not equal. So I'm not going to let you come over here and talk to me like we're equal. when I'm laying down in presentation in front of a bunch of people. So we're going to break this all down. But yeah, I mean, this is clearly illegal, 100 billion, trillion percent. You know how people saying, well, all the other stuff you're doing now was state. Ask yourself why the state never got involved. Ask yourself why nobody never called the police and why the state haven't been involved. If everybody's saying this. Ask yourself that part. Because some people won't say, well, the stuff he's doing is a state case. Ask yourself why the state case never end up under the state. If he's doing all of this to her for all these years in front of all these people, and you say it's a statute of limitations for the state case, why didn't the state case ever go to the state? Why it never was a case? So it's safe to say, if you said she went along with it, it's safe to say everybody else went along with it. Okay? No, I'm talking about this been happening 13 years. This been happening 13 years. The state cases. If he's been beating her all this time, why has he never been arrested all these years for the other crimes, for the domestic abuse? Why has he been arrested? AJ just testified he did it in front of Jimmy Iovine and all these people, allegedly. If he's doing this and everybody knows L Cool J, why hadn't he been arrested for the abuse and domestic charges that he would have did 10 or 15 years for that? Why hadn't he been arrested? Before he crossed state line? Why wasn't he arrested for the state crimes? I'm not talking about the federal case. Everybody knew he was doing it. A bunch of women was there. People was putting makeup on her. People was healing her bruises. She was going to the hospital, head busted, bad wounds. Straight brutality in front of everybody. All the other workers, everybody's there. If I pay you to be quiet, ain't that coercion? Ain't that a part of his federal case? Hold on. If I did these crimes and I paid you and you stayed quiet, isn't that coercion? Isn't coercion part of his federal crime? Oh, a lot of people not reading it. I get it. I got it. People, you don't even know the charges. I'll be arguing with people that don't even know the charges. That's why I don't want to debate people, because you'll be debating people that don't know the information. Let me see if I can find it for those that do want to learn. Those that don't want to learn, want to argue, go back to school or do something, find something to do with yourself, and come back when you get your knowledge up there. You got to, work on your knowledge and come back and holler at me. I can't try to talk to my people and teach you. Okay. I can't teach people the law and all that and stay on subject. So this is why I'm not debating people, because I have to stay on subject. Let me show you something. Hopefully I saved it. I got so much Diddy stuff, I don't even know if I saved it. Oh my God, I don't even know where it's at. So much. He's getting in so much trouble. I've done so many Diddy. This might be it. Okay. Racketeering conspiracy. This charge alleges that he used his business to facilitate and hide criminal activities. Let's just start right there. You are aware that he had people go buy the substances that he was giving the people with their credit cards, and then he was paying them back, right, from the bad boy, right? He was paying them back from the bad boy account. You do know that, right? You do know that he had people go buy from the one stop, that had all the drugs. And they were buying all this stuff from what they kept calling the one stop. They were using their credit cards. And then he was reimbursing them from his record label account. You're also aware that they testified and they snitching. It's another story. You know what I'm saying? In the hood, if somebody snitch on you, it's a wrap. I got brothers over here want to argue about somebody that everybody snitched on them already. I'm not going to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. This guy, I'm going to talk to you. You don't know what's going on. I'm telling you what's going on. I'm trying to teach these people so they know what's going on and keep some of these brothers out of trouble. It's cut and dry. This man used the record label to do all that stuff. Okay? Listen, what's his initial relationship to Cassie? To Cassie. His relationship with Cassie is signing her to the record label. If he signs her to the record label and he gives her a 10-album deal, she is an employee. She's an employee. Now you sleep with your employee. That's a conflict of interest. It's not illegal, but it's a scumbaggy. Your artist doesn't drop 10 albums, just one. And you end up getting your artist involved in prostitution, because that was prostitution. I'm not sure if you know that. I'm not sure if you're aware of that if I get a male stripper and pay him to have sex, that's prostitution. He's a stripper. He's not, that's prostitution. Okay? There's no state charges because of statute of limitations. That's prostitution. Okay? This is why when you go to the strip club, can you have sex with the girls legally? Yes or no? I don't feel like playing. When you go to the strip club, can you have sex with those women? Can you throw money down there and have sex with them women? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. When you go to the strip club, you pay them, right? Can you have sex with them? Can you have sex? You paying them? You're making it rain on them. Can you have sex with them? They dance and they willing to dance. They might even be willing to have sex with you. But is it legal? Is it legal? So if you hire one of them to come somewhere and you paying somebody to get illegal drugs and they having sex, that's illegal. Okay. That's illegal. That's prostitution. You're exchanging money for sex. That's prostitution. It's illegal. You're supposed to have sex with people on your own, like your girlfriend or something, or somebody that agrees to it. Once you pay, that's prostitution. That's prostitution. That male escort is in there because he's going to go to prison unless he testify. A lot of the people are testifying it's so they won't be in the case. I don't think other people understand that the people that's testifying could go to prison if they don't testify. They go into prison. They're not testifying to help him. They're testifying to stay out of prison. They go into prison. Prison. A lot of people that get on that stand is doing it so they won't go to prison. So I don't want to argue because I got to help young brothers. Young brothers, when you go out here and you do all this stuff, you're doing all this stuff. When they find out, they're going to get half of the people that did it with you to tell on you. And they're going to say, Pharaoh was paying and Pharaoh had me pick up the drugs. And then I got him and gave to him and he paid me back. Yeah, on June 18th, February. I remember because my wife had just had a baby. They're going to tell. Y'all think he just in there? They telling. Everybody's telling. They're telling. You know, the young girl he picked up in Detroit and flew, and Harv, his assistant, picked him up and flew. Where's Harv? He haven't been on the stand yet. I wonder where's Harv at? He haven't been on the stand. Diddy's number 2 man that he went to college with, that worked at Bad Boy, they brought the little young girl from Detroit on the plane and made the girl do stuff with him, told her she needed to do stuff with him. Or if not, he ain't gonna do her to Diddy, and bought that little birthday young girl. I wonder why you haven't hit the stand yet. Oh, we got a long time to go. Oh, okay. Okay, we got a whole 6 weeks. We got a whole 5 weeks. Oh boy. Oh, he's going to prison. Let me tell y'all something. If you see any brother, now he could not 100% go because they could make a mistake. Don't get me wrong. But based on the evidence and based on the case, he going to prison. Anybody in the streets will tell you he's going to prison. He's got snitches. You know, he got lots of snitches. Y'all don't think he got no snitches? Ain't nobody snitching. Huh? Ain't nobody going to snitching. I ain't talking about Harv. I'm talking about his employee. I'm not talking about Harvey. I ain't talking about him. I'm not talking about Harvey. Yeah, I'm not talking about Harvey. I'm talking about somebody else. Let me finish. You see what it says? Racketeering conspiracy. First charge. This charge alleges that he used his business to facilitate and hide criminal activities, including trafficking, forced labor. The charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison. Forced labor. Everybody there. Oh, probably, maybe so. Let me check. Everybody there. A lot of people was forced labor. He had people working 24. The one lady said that she went 4 days with no sleep. Had them working all around the clock, only gave them $50,000. You are aware that in the States, there's what they call minimum wage. I hope you all are aware that minimum wage is a crime to work somebody lower than minimum wage. Minimum wage is an actual law that you can break. I don't know if y'all are aware of that. Minimum wage is an actual law you can break. The working hours is 8 hours a day. You can pay a certain amount of overtime. It's against the law to have somebody work for you 4 days straight. It's against the law to have somebody work for you year round and only pay them $50,000. That's going to be below minimum wage. That's illegal. That's illegal. Now, if you got them doing illegal activities, okay, you understand? That's illegal. That's illegal. Now, Just Do It say it's pretty difficult to prove that he made them. No, it's not. Not when everybody testifies beating people. Y'all don't listen to these other people. Listen to me. Once they testify that I'm beating up people, then they could say, I forced labor. He can easily be charged for forced labor because he was violent. He has too many incidences of beating up not only Casey, but all the other girls. He beat them all up. This is already facts where he was beating Casey and they called her mother. This is not no make-believe stuff. He was beating up people. Now you got to understand something, that we are dealing with Satanism. And so weak people follow Satan. So no matter what certain people do, you will find people that will support him, right? And when you find people that support him, 75% of the chance they're going to be dark too. They're not going to be necessarily decent people because you're dealing with righteousness and wickedness. So when you see all these people saying, supporting him, a lot of these people are Satanists. They might not even know it. They're on the dark side because there's no righteous person. Anybody righteous wants him to go to hell in a handbasket. There's no decent person support him. There's no decent person who wants him to walk around out here. Okay, let's just start there. So when you see these people, these fans up under a satanic hypnosis, okay, all right, so they're able to take these negative people, they're able to make celebrities out of them, and they're able to make you a fan. And then when you become a fan, you sell your soul too. So no matter what they say, right? No matter what they say, no matter what they do, you're going to support them. So Biggie can get right on the song and say, better known as Lucifer, right in front of you. And you in there, yeah, better known as Lucifer, you know? These are facts. They are fans under this hypnosis. And under this satanic hypnosis, some of these fans become employees. So if you're already screaming and hollering for somebody, right? If you're already screaming and hollering for somebody while you're under this satanic hypnosis and you actually get a chance to work for them, now you got coercion. Then add violence. You understand? Then add violence. Okay. You add the psychology. I get with a woman. I tell her I love her. I buy her all this nice stuff. Then I beat her up. Then I apologize. And I buy her all this enough stuff. And we make love and we have such a beautiful time together. Then I beat her up. Then I make up to her, right? And I buy her all this nice stuff. I take her places she's never been before. Then I beat her up. So now I got her. So now she'll let me beat up other people. She'll bring in other women. I'll beat them up. Yeah. Parents are doing that to their children, abusing their children. Husbands are abusing their wives. She stay right with them. She stay right with them. No, but her eye black. You like, auntie, you need to stop dealing with Unc. You're like, no, but he this. She make excuses. She come to you where uncle beat her up. She messed up. She crying. Everybody's all upset. Then everybody start coming down on him. You know, what do auntie say? No, but you're like, what? She'll run to you with the problem. Hurt, scared, and saying she don't want to be with him at first. But she ain't going to let you talk about him. Soon as you start talking about him, no, but his mama raised him. He came up, You look up, you go through all this. Next month, where's she at? She right back with him. Now, an evil man is going to say, well, she right back with him because he going to give the devil the pass and put it on the victim. You understand? So when you see people come over here and putting it on the victim, now you on that dark side. You know what I'm saying? Now you on the dark. That everybody that wants the best for him is on the dark side. Every single one of them. Everybody that wants him to beat this case, everybody that supports him is on the dark side. This is a whole war between righteousness and wickedness. It's not just Lucifer. He got an army. Okay? If Lucifer didn't have an army, would we have all these grape cases out here? Would we have all these murders out here? Would we have people breaking into your house and stealing everything you got? Would we have all these physical attacks? Would we have all this negativity? Would we have all this? Would you be afraid to go to prison because the men gonna take you in prison and gonna do stuff to your son if you go to prison? If this was righteousness. So I ain't trying to hear no brother trying to, you know what I'm saying? Don't even talk to me because I already know it's righteousness and wickedness. So don't try to come to me with no excuses for no wickedness. If you ain't talk about this man supposed to get 1,000 years and he a menace, then I would never be around you. If I knew you and you start making up excuses and start trying to make a way for him to beat this case, you would never be around me again in my life because I can't trust you around my daughter. I can't trust you around my nobody. I can't trust you around me. There's something wrong with you. If you try to go our way, he didn't do it. The next minute you telling me what's wrong with the gangs. You know what's wrong with the gangs? They mama like Diddy. They son go do all kind of stuff. She like, well, she forgive him. Her son and went, shot your daughter, broke in your house. His mama forgive him. His mom forgive him. His mama forgive him. She go visit him and take him right back in. See the reason he like that? Diddy was able to do this because there's a lot of people like that come over here supporting him. Them was the people that was around letting them do it. When you come over here supporting him, you one of the people was in there when he was beating up Casey. I know who you are. When you come over here supporting him, trying to make any type of excuses, I know who you are. Because see, it ain't no muddy. It's righteousness and it's wickedness, period. And that man been a demon. You just didn't want to see it. You just didn't want, he been showing you evil. He been showing you. They all been showing you. Look at this picture and look at it good. Look at the color scheme. Now look at this picture. What did the word say? Say death. Listen. Does it say life? Does it say righteousness? Does it say goodness? It says death. It's got a man with a bag over his head about to be electrocuted in an electric chair. Just look at what you're looking at. See, you didn't know what you was looking at. You didn't know you was looking at Lucifer. You didn't know you was looking at evil people. Sugar evil too. Sugar demon. They the same. You rocking with the realists. That's why brothers come over here, be quiet and listen. Let me drop it on you. Look at him. See, the whole time we didn't know. We like, yeah, death row. We're not really paying attention. He constantly saying death, 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 death. He constantly chanting death. He said when you sign his label, you can't leave unless you dead. Tupac signed the death row, didn't he? Where he at? Where we at? Where Suge at? Where Diddy at? Because righteousness gets rewarded with righteousness. Okay, are they getting rewarded with righteousness? Just think. Oh, he did way more than this. This is just what he been charged for. What he been charged for, imagine what he was really doing. Imagine the part they ain't telling nobody. Okay? Imagine what you don't know. It's like I'm in the street and they catch me with a kilo. But how many kilos did I have, though? How many of them ran through my hands? I might have had heroin, too. I might have had anything. You just caught me in with this. But by the time you take me to court, this don't really reflect what I've been doing. This just reflect what you caught me with. It's worse than what you caught me with. Ain't nobody never been to court. You just getting to court with going to court with the part they cut you with. But your sins is way worse than your charges, typically. What? So y'all telling me that he ain't worse than what we hearing? Y'all telling me he not worse than the part we know. Is that what y'all trying to tell me? From what we hearing, you trying to tell me is everything else is better. Is no, y'all think we heard everything. And what we hearing is horrible. So imagine the parts you ain't heard. Imagine how many people's probably missing. He was always threatening to unalive people, constantly. He was constantly saying that. What really happened to Biggie? Why didn't they let Biggie go? Look, Biggie was supposed to go to Europe. Why did he insist Biggie come to California? Why did they contact Reggie Wright to help do security for Biggie and Bad Boy and Death Row beefing? So what you're looking at in court, you're looking at a battle between righteousness and wickedness. And guess what? The court is split too. There's people in the justice system that's trying to do righteous, and there's a whole bunch of wickedness in the justice system. So if he walk, he not walking because he's innocent. He's walking because the wicked gonna help him walk. It's not gonna mean he innocent. It's going you don't understand what you're looking at in this world. It's two sides out here. It's two sides. There's people in the justice system doing the same thing he doing. There's people trying to get him off of it. There's people trying to get him off of it. It's wickedness everywhere in high and low places. You name it. This ain't Zion. This ain't heaven. What y'all think Hollywood is? Just look at the movies. 95% of the movies is wicked. Negative. They don't be making no good movies. The movies they tell you is positive be negative. The music industry. There's righteousness and there's wickedness everywhere. But because of the economical system, the wicked control the economical system because the righteous don't want to do what they're willing to do. And the person, when it comes to making money, the one that's willing to do the most, gonna always go further than the rest of us. So this is why these industries is top heavy when it comes to wickedness. There's righteousness in there, but the righteousness is like 30%. 70% of all these industries are wicked because the wicked gonna go further than you. They willing to do more than we willing to do. We ain't willing to do all that. We're not willing to do what the wicked is willing to do. So they're gonna get the job. Diddy was hiring people that was willing to do whatever. They was fans. He used his money. He used coercion. He used violence. He used his economical power. He used his political power. You don't do what he tell you, you become a problem. You become a missing, and you just gonna be gone. Because he got enough money to pay sheriffs and pay police chiefs and stuff. It's a wrap. You just out of here. So people acting like, why was they scared of Diddy? Why was they doing whatever Diddy say? A person that'll end up being a billionaire. The fact you don't understand why she was going along just show you ain't in the real world. It just show you you don't understand the real world. Power. You don't really want to know the answer. I mean, if you want to know the answer, I'll tell you. But if you just ask me for argument points, I'm not going to get into it. But if you want to know the answer, it's Diddy because he got sloppy. It's a secret society. He got sloppy. That's his fault. He got sloppy. That's why it's Diddy. You're not supposed to get sloppy. You're supposed to, you got to, Diddy got sloppy. They'll let you sell all the drugs you want as long as you don't get sloppy. Ask somebody. No, he got high on his own supply. He broke the rules. He broke the rules of the drug dealer. He broke the drug dealer rule. He started getting high. He started getting high. What happened to Scarface in the movie? What was the real reason Scarface went down? Because he started getting high. You know what I'm saying? He started getting high. At that point, you become the threat to the rest of us on the dark side. We have a meeting, this Diddy guy, he gonna get us all exposed. Yeah, I've been hanging out with him. Now he's out there doing all this stuff. They're gonna find out. They're gonna find out what we doing. Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go. Before he gonna get us all in trouble. He gonna expose us all. He's just too sloppy. He's out here dancing around. He's out here doing all this stuff in front of everybody. What the hell's wrong with him? He's trying to beef with the liquor company. They're on our side. What the hell's wrong with him? I'm saying? He got to go. That's why Jeffrey Epstein had to go. He got sloppy. Jeffrey got sloppy. You all up at the clubs. You all in the clubs and all this, bro. She wasn't no accomplice. She was a victim. You only saying she's accomplished, Byron, because it's not your daughter. Brothers like you is phony. You just saying that because it's not your baby. If it was your baby and I was beating your baby and slapping her head against the wall, she was doing what I told her, you wouldn't say she was no accomplice. If it was your mama and I was beating your mama and slap her head against the wall and made her go do what I told her to do, you wouldn't say all that. So you ain't keeping it real. You phony. You definitely don't know nothing about the streets. Stay out this conversation. The deal with Diddy and the liquor company, Diddy was getting high and was stupid and he wasn't no good businessman. You ain't gonna handle nothing because I'm gonna put two in you because you ain't got no money and I'm Big Diddy. I got security. You can't even breach my security. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If I just even thought you was gonna do something, I put two in your head. What you talking about, baby? Your arm's too short to box with God. If you ain't got no money, you can't go at no boss. You ain't got enough money to go at no boss. You just talking. Where you gonna drive up to his crib? Where you gonna see him at? You ain't got no VIP to go to nothing he gonna be at. How you gonna get in there? Bro, come on, man. Y'all want to have a real conversation or fake conversation? I'm thinking we're having a real conversation. You can't do nothing to Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Lisa, come back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk to some people, some intelligent people. You ain't got no intelligence, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk to some people who got some type of intelligence. I ain't got time to talk to you. You're a fan, Diddy fan. You know what I'm saying? Even another one, so you got a big army. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you get men to put on pom-poms and cheer for another man like that, that just show you. He don't believe that Diddy can make him do what he wanted him to do, but he a cheerleader for Diddy himself. Diddy got him cheerleading with pom-poms on for Diddy. Think about it. Think about a man coming over here defending Diddy, but telling me that Cassie shouldn't have defended Diddy, and you defending Diddy. You see what I'm saying? You are all up in his drawers. All you doing is proving what I'm saying, that the fame and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because this brother ain't got no reason to support Diddy. What Diddy ever did for him? Nothing. He a fanboy. He don't even know this dude. But he gonna pick her and degrade her and hold Diddy up. But he don't know Diddy. But Diddy is a celebrity. And they use that celebrity to get fans. And they use them fans to abuse people. You understand? They like, that's Diddy, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't seen these black men want to argue over Drake and Kendrick? What kind of man gonna have that argument? A real man gonna watch the battle. It's over. Say, I think he won. I think they won. And then we ain't never gonna talk about that no more. It's men. Drake, man. Kendrick, man. Kendrick. A grown-ass man. Talking about Kendrick, man. Kendrick. LeBron. That's what I told y'all. We don't cheer for the athletes. We cheer for the team. Well, I ain't cheering for no Michael Jordan. I don't Michael Jordan, no. I like women. I don't like Michael Jordan. Go Bulls. I like to see the Bulls win for the city. But Michael Jordan, well, you'll never see me with no shirt with no Michael Jordan on it. I ain't wearing no shirt with no man on it. I don't even wear no shirt with no woman on it. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We getting into it, see, because there's darkness and righteousness. Okay, there's darkness and there's righteousness everywhere, y'all. And righteousness is natural. Righteousness is fruit and vegetables and fruit trees and earth and grass and that. And wickedness is contrived. A job, taxes, 8 hours. Your house costs this much. Property taxes, that's all Lucifer. Your whole society is controlled by the devil. That's who you're working for. That's who got these lights on, all that satanic. So you're in a Luciferian society. So when you're in a Luciferian society, right, where somebody trying to control what was here already, and a man come and say he gonna control the earth, but the earth was here before him, and he gonna control the apples, and he gonna control the plums, and he gonna charge you toll to drive on that freeway, and he gonna charge you for lights, and he gonna charge you to live somewhere. That's a Luciferian system. So the same person that say they won't do what Casey doing is doing what Casey doing already. You're gonna get your black ass up and you're gonna go to work like your Diddy told you. Your boss is your Diddy. The gas company is Diddy. The light company is Diddy. The internet people is Diddy. I don't know who y'all think they is. And you a hoe. If you want to call Cassie a hoe, how you not a hoe when you got to go to work so you can have a place to live on the earth that don't belong to the person that's paying you and don't own the house? You paying to live somewhere. Do the person you paying that, do they really own the earth? No. They don't own that. They just said they own it and charging you and making you go be a slave. But then you turn around and you looking at Cassie, want to know why she was a slave for him? Because she just was trying to be a higher level slave. She was trying to get more bread, more fame. You just getting your little minimum wage or whatever your little wages is. That was that big money. And the same way you jumping through loops so you can pay your $1,500 bill for your lease or your mortgage or your your apartment or your $2 grand the same way you jumping through loops for that. She was jumping through for the millions. She was doing the same thing you doing. Yeah, you jumping through loops too. All them people at the courthouse jumping through loops. They better get their ass up and get to work, or they gonna be homeless. And if she didn't do what she told him, then he was gonna throw out. She was gonna be homeless. She was gonna have to go figure it out. She was gonna have to go back to the bottom and start over again. Look at the other lady that worked for him. He wasn't paying her nothing but $50,000 for a whole year. She said she worked for 4 hours with 4 days with no sleep. That's illegal. That's illegal. That's slavery. That's bondage. That's slavery. He's supposed to get a life sentence for that through coercion. He broke this law. This charge alleges that he used his business to facilitate a high criminal activity, and high criminal activities including trafficking and forced labor. The charge carried a maximum of life sentence. He definitely had forced labor. He definitely forced them to work. They all testified. Said he can go to bed and everything, but if he wake up and want something, you better be up. They was taking all kind of pills and stuff to be up to keep their job. That's illegal. That's illegal. And they under salary. So when a brother come over, he'd be like, no, she did no, she was under salary. That's illegal. Yeah, that's the company. She was under salary. They was work for his label. They work for him. He the one breaking the law. Brothers want to come and down blaming on the people that work for him. $50,000. $50,000. You got to live with him. You got to live in his place. So when he get mad, he throw you out. Now you homeless. See what I'm saying? Think about it. I'm working with you, so I don't got no other job. I don't got no other money. You give me $50,000, but that's cool because you buying the food. I'm living there. I don't got to pay no rent. I got to pay nothing. Then when you get mad at me, you throw me out. So guess what? I can't get no job right now, so I'm finna be homeless, ain't I? Where I'm gonna take all my belongings when you throw me out? They in your house. Where I'm gonna sleep that first night? What I'm gonna do? Because you bring me in, you set me up with you, so I'm not set up. So now you can just throw me out. That's why a lot of times when you fall off, you don't want to go live with a friend. You rather go put your stuff in a shelter and live out just anywhere. Because when you move in with this friend and bring all your stuff, they could just wake up one day and say, get out. Now you ain't got no moving truck. If they want to, they can sit all your stuff in front of their place. How you going to go find where to go and watch your stuff? You go to try to find somewhere to go, come back. People done stole all your stuff. Y'all ever been on the block when the state came and evicted somebody and put their stuff in the front? And they got to get, some of the relatives got to sit there and watch the stuff while the other one try to figure out where to go and how they can get their stuff from in front of the place. If it start raining, a bad storm, all your stuff get ruined. All the stuff you worked for all this time, all your belongings is sitting in front of the place. This is the type of position he had him in. Bring him in. Now they can't go nowhere. But nobody really want to do with that. Nobody really want to look at that like that. They can't go nowhere. Not at the spur of the moment. And he threw him out the spur of the moment. Get out. He was always telling them to get out. It's all these incidents of him beating this lady, and you got black brothers saying the ladies is wrong. See, if you're a dude and you come over here and you put it on the lady, I'm really not going to like you. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way me and you going to, I would never be around you. You know what I'm saying? I would never be around no brother that's giving Diddy a pass and putting that on Cassie. I would never be around you ever in my life. Never. I mean, you could walk up and get an autograph or buy a book or something. But as far as like me and you meet, you want to meet me somewhere and go, no, I would never associate with anybody that put the blame on her and get this grown-ass black man a pass for his behavior. Never. Never. Because anybody that's riding with her is on satanic time. And that's what they do. They hypnotize you, have you on demon time. They hypnotize you with the lifestyle. You understand? The lifestyle creates the music, creates the TV. The TV and the music don't create the lifestyle. It's the other way around. That's why I keep telling y'all it's not the drill rap. It's the brothers. The brothers is really like that. They really like that. That's why they like drill rap. The music don't make the people make the music. And this go all the way back to ancient time. This one I'll be talking about on From Kemet to Chicago. We're gonna get into this part. But you can see in ancient time, you see the evil on your left, and you see the righteousness on your right. You see the tug of war between righteousness and evil. This go all the way back. You see the war between righteousness and evil. It's documented from ancient times. You see the war between righteousness and evil. You see the righteousness on your left, and you see the evil on your right. And they battle for who gonna be God, who gonna be in control. It's everywhere in our society, all the way down to our gang. You see the GDs, you see the devil pitchforks. You see they always throwing up the devil. You know they call them Satan disciples. They don't tell you that part. They don't tell you that the GDs are Satan disciples. They don't tell you that. But the Latin boys know it. That's why they got a real gang called Satan Disciples. What's going on, Lupe? The Latin boys know. They just call their gang straight out Satan Disciples. The SDs, look. Satan Disciples. Look, the name of their song, The Devil's Anthem. See? They really own that. This ain't like no make-believe. And they use money. They use money. And once you chase it and they can get you to chase that money, they got you. Once they make that money and get you to chase that money, and they'll do you just like he did Cassie. You'll be homeless, struggling, trying to shame you in society because you ain't got no money. You won't get some money, you better come and you better get on this devil time. Look at what you got to do to get money. You got to some type of way find a sucker so you could get rich. It's only a few righteous ways to get money. Most of the ways to get money deals with you using somebody else. Basically, find somebody to do something to you for low wages, and then you reap all the money off the top. But you ain't doing as much work as they doing. So you're not getting paid for your work. So what you getting paid for? You getting paid with mastermind in the operation to use these people. Basically. That's the world we really in. So once they put that money up there, they put that money, they put the cars, they put the jewelry, they put the clothes, they put the homes, they put the prestige. You ready to sell your soul for that stuff? I just wanted to come and show y'all what's really going on behind the scenes and the power. And Diddy was like Dracula. You see how Dracula tell them, come here, and they walk right up to him and let him bite him? He's able to use the trinkets that he get from Satan to get these people to do what he want to do. And when they want to do it, then they turn to violence. Because you ask yourself, with Diddy with that much money, why he had to beat him up? Because it was getting to a point where selling their soul wasn't worth it. They many times they looking at the money and they saying, you know what? I don't want the money. That's when he turned to violence. Exactly. Not knowing they both working together. Yeah. Yep. They're always trying to control the righteous. You know what I'm saying? When I got stabbed and I came back, I was still humble because I couldn't walk. I had to learn how to walk, right? Now I'm back in the environment I don't know because I left Chicago as a shorty, basically. I left Chicago in my young 20s. Now I'm back. I'm 30s. I'm heading to my 30s. I'm learning how to walk. I need some money. And I started turning darker and darker and darker. And I was getting more money and more money. The more money I got, the more evil I got. I became more evil and more evil and more evil. And more money and more evil. That's a fact. To the point, like I ain't had no soul or nothing. I'm thinking my clothes mean something, my car means something, my shoes mean something. That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to look better than everybody else. You ain't got these. You ain't dressed like this. You ain't got this jewelry. You don't say that's what you're doing, but that's what you be doing. And what a woman mean to you is you be in love with a woman, but you chasing the devil. So you don't really know how to love no woman because you chasing the devil. She see the money. Of course she gonna want the car. Of course she gonna want the clothes. So now that she taking the clothes and the money, now when she complain, you thinking she ain't no good wife. Man, you getting all this clothes and money. Shut up, bitch. Complaining. See what I'm saying? Because you on the dark side. You really don't really care nothing about her. You really can't put your soul into her because you ain't got no soul. You ain't got no love in you. How you gonna love somebody if you ain't got no love? Love is something you share. You don't got no love. What the fuck is love? You don't got no love. You think buying your wife stuff is love. How about you a new car? You still complaining. That ain't love, bro. So after a while, you train the women that's love. Now the women, they don't got no love in their soul either. To get with them, you got to buy them something. You got to buy them a Birkin bag. They don't know nothing about no love. Does he care about his kids? You don't have nothing called care. You think you do. He probably think he do. He probably think he do, but no. You don't really care about nobody. You think you do though. You think you do. You don't even ever see your children. You're just chasing dollars all the time. You don't see them. It's not like you don't care. You don't got that energy. You don't know what care is. What the hell is care? All you care about is money, getting money and power. And when you get money, guess what go with money? Love don't go with money. Children don't go with money. Marriage don't go with money. It's only one thing go with money. It's violence. Violence is the only thing that go with money. Because when you get money, now you got to protect it, right? So now you got to start paying security. What did he had to do when he started getting money? What's the first thing he had to do? Secure it, right? He got all them big houses. What is security like? What kind of bodyguards he got with him? You know what I'm saying? That's his first priority. So when you get this wealth, your first priority ain't your family. Your first priority is to protect the wealth. So now you chasing wealth and you protecting wealth. All right, so how much energy you got for anything else? Yeah, when you get through doing all that, yeah, you go around and try to buy them stuff for their birthday or try to kiss on your wife and stuff, but that's like way later. It's like leftover. That's like they get the leftover time. I mean, ain't no such thing as love when you get like that. So you're right, Adam, but you know what I'm saying? Not in the way you're saying it. It's not like you don't love yourself. You're preoccupied over here. So, like, let's say love myself is right here. So it's not like I don't love myself. I'm just busy over here. So it's not like you kind of right, but it's not like he don't love himself. It's that he don't think about that part of himself. He think about what he can get for himself. So he's still thinking about himself, but he's thinking, what could he get? So it's not like you intentionally go to the devil. You go to the devil accidentally. You don't even know you're going. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You don't know you're going that way. By the time I looked up, I had my whole pinky toe in hell already. I had no idea I was dark like that. You know how mean you got to be to protect your money and protect what you got? Because you don't rise up over the righteous. That's not who you're rising up over. You're rising up over other devils. You're rising up over devils. So your war is with all these little devils, and you're trying to be a bigger devil, and you're trying to protect yourself from these devils, right? So if you get a nice car, what you trying to do? You're trying to protect a devil from carjacking. And when you go and put your family stuff in that car, you still thinking about somebody trying to take your jewelry off your neck, somebody trying to pull you out this car. You kind of can act like you don't. It's in the back of your mind, but it's a major part of your life. Because you're in a dark world. The world's dark, and it's dog eat dog in the dark side. So now he got all this security and stuff. So now this security can help him keep his secret. So now he can beat up Casey. Security gonna patch her up. D-Rock and them gonna go and patch her up, tell her don't tell and all that. Security doing everything. He can go do all this crazy stuff, but he paying them. They gotta help him. They gotta aid the system. Because now they living off of it. Now they got nice houses because you work for Diddy. So now you kind of like bought and paid for. You're into this satanic world with him. You got to protect all his crimes and everything. Because he go down, you lose your money. So now when the feds come in and grab them, now they all going to turn state's evidence. That's when they wake up. I'm going to get how much time? They said, listen, you can turn state evidence or you're going to probably do 2025. It's up to you. Everybody finna tell on him in the next 5 weeks. Y'all think he going to beat the case? You know, I ain't finna argue with no brother about him beating the case because anybody in the streets know that if he got a case, he got mad snitches. And them snitches ain't coming till it get to the end. And they're not bringing the big snitches. If it's 5 more weeks left, they're bringing the big snitches in 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now. Yeah, they're not bringing the big snitches yet. Yeah. If you know anything about the court system and you try to make it think he's finna get off based on this, you ain't been in the streets. You don't know what you're talking about. They ain't dropping no bomb yet. Casey wasn't a bomb. Casey wasn't a bomb. That young girl from Detroit that they flew from Detroit to New York is one of the bombs. D-Rock in them is one of the bombs. Whoever security, whatever security turned the state's evidence, that's the bomb. That's the one gonna be like, yeah, he did. I was with him. Yeah, we went over to Casey's house. He said he wanted to unalive her. I had a 357. He had that. We was going, yeah. She not the, you know what I'm saying? You understand? Because you get in there, listen, when you get in the bed with Lucifer, he said, Pharaoh, I'm going to give you everything. You'd be like, cool. So you get in the bed with him. Next thing you know, you get everything. But what he don't tell you is how long you're going to have it. So let's say I get everything Thursday. The police kick my door open Saturday. Then I'd be like, Lucifer, I thought you said you were going to give me everything. I did. I gave it to you Thursday. I didn't tell you was going to enjoy it, fool. See what I'm saying? So you get what you sell out for, but you don't get to keep it. As soon as you get it, bow, you go down. As soon as you get it. So now you're in the dark world. You don't want the righteous people to know what you was doing. It's finna be exposed. And the other people in the dark world is wondering if they should unalive you because you know too much. Yeah, you know too much. Yeah, you know a little too much. Even if you're in the street, you locked up, and your supplier is very nervous. So when I got arrested, you can believe the word went around. They got ran. They got ran. Ooh. I'm telling you, we need to clean this house out and stuff. They ain't saying you no snitch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You ain't a snitch until you don't snitch. When you don't snitch, that's when they say you ain't no snitch. But until then, they don't know what you finna be. You ain't no snitch now, but you might become a snitch. So this is the part where people say you're going to get off. You don't know nothing about snitches. Everybody finna tell. Everybody finna tell. They talk about Casey's testimony. Come on, man. She got Stockholm syndrome. Her testimony just show what he is, but nobody expect. She's crazy already. He already beat her crazy. He already drugged her up. She's not in her right, man. When you see brothers dissing Casey, it ain't the fact I don't respect nobody's opinion. Just these brothers don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about the streets. They don't know nothing about drugs. They don't know nothing about abuse or nothing. They just talking. That man was 40. He got that girl when she was 19. Come on, man. That's a kid straight. That's a kid straight out of high school. How you going? I be tripping on brothers. This man 40, he get with a girl out of high school, and y'all talking about she wanted it and she wanted to do it. This is why grape cases is so big, because brothers will sit there and say she probably wanted it. And these are the same brothers will do the same thing. Any man you see that's on Diddy's side, keep them away from the women in your family and get them out your life. Don't say I didn't tell you. If any of your friends or whatever, males, and they on Diddy's side, stop hanging. If you got a wife and daughters, stay away from them. He ain't got a decent bone in his body. Because where we come from, you always gonna blame the person on the top. You never blame nobody on the bottom. That's how we was raised. If your mama goes somewhere and come back and y'all doing something crazy in the house, the oldest kid get it. It's the oldest fault. Period. Point blank period. It ain't never the other two younger ones. Never. Never. It's always the oldest. When I grew up, Diddy was the oldest. Everything is his fault. You was 40 years old when you met her. So everything's your fault. She don't get no blame for nothing. The oldest. That's why black people, you ain't raising your kids no more. You can't do nothing. I don't be want to listen to a lot of younger people because your generation shot. You done broke all the rules, changed all the basics. Then you trying to philosophize from a broken home, no marriage and no baby society. Well, I listen to you, ain't even having no babies. You need to listen to me and then go have some babies and get married and grow and raise a decent family and be a decent husband. Have some children. Now you talking about, oh gee, I don't want to have no children. It's too expensive. I would stop talking to me. Because until you have some babies, you the baby. Yeah, you ain't no man. You a little kid. Was you 26? You ain't got no kids? Okay, that's you a kid then. You ain't no daddy. If you ain't no daddy, then you just a son. Stay in the little boy place. Stay in the son place. I'm not gonna listen to you. You don't got no responsibility. You ain't acting like no man. You's a grown ass little boy. Talking about it costs too much. Oh, you can't go get no money? Shut up talking to me. If you can't get no money, take care of no children. Don't talk to Big Pharaoh. Loser. You can't get no money to take care of no two children? Shut up talking to me then. Please shut up talking to me. Since you can't do nothing. How you know everything but can't do what's necessary? So you want to debate me, but you can't have no children. That's ass backwards. You know what I'm saying? But you can debate me. You know why? Because anybody can just run their mouth and debate me. You ain't got to put nothing on the table. So that's why brothers on the internet want to debate, because you ain't got to have nothing. You ain't got to be about nothing. You ain't got to show and prove nothing. You could just run your mouth. You ain't even got to have no goddamn credentials to see if you even qualified to motherfucker talk to me. What's your goddamn credentials? Because I can't see no person in a grad school debating no fifth grader. Bro, listen, you watch me and everything, right? And you said it's not about money, OG. It's really about you can't trust the mother. Okay? So basically, you're just throwing everybody under whatever insecurities you got. You're going to put them on all women. You saying whatever went into your life, you saying you can't trust no women. First thing. Then you saying that's why you don't want to have no kids. But you calling yourself a kid. Because your name Wise the Kid. but you're not really looking at your own mental instability. Because if you were stand on something, the last thing you would call yourself is a kid. Change your name, bro. Because you wise the kid and you talking to a grown ass man. You call yourself a kid and say you don't want to have no kids. That's because you a kid. Grow the fuck up. You wise the kid. That's why you don't want to have no kids. How a kid gonna have some kids? Go be a man, put your man britches on. I mess with you because you be watching me. But what you saying don't make no sense, bro. Because you wise the kid. It ain't no G gonna ever call himself no kid. The fact you call yourself a kid mean you insecure and you immature. Seriously, change that name, bro. You's a grown ass man. How old is you? Not to mention the kid is a goat. Hold on. Wait, watch this, y'all. Watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. Watch this. Watch this though. Check this out. I got love for you, bro. Watch this. Get an A for this. Watch how this go. Watch this. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Real talk. I'm finna drop it on this whole head. Watch this, y'all. That's why I'm the realest alive. Me ain't gonna get this nowhere. Change that name, bro. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Because you don't even know what you're calling yourself. You don't even know what you're calling yourself, bro. You got no idea what you're saying. Watch this, y'all. On my soul. Watch this. Y'all need to support the channel because it don't get no realer than this. Watch this. He called himself Wise the Kid, right? Now check this out. Let me show you what a kid is. Watch this. Watch this, bro. I bet you changed his name. I bet you changed your name. Now this is a kid. Right? This is a kid. That's why I've been trying to stop calling my kids kids. I want to be calling my children or my offspring. Because I had a teacher and he used to say, y'all need to stop calling y'all babies kids because a kid's a little goat, right? Right? Now you see that's a goat. A kid is a baby goat, right? Right? A kid is a baby goat, right? And what's that? And what's that? You feel me? Check this out. A kid is a baby goat. And what's one of the images for Lucifer? What's one of the, see what I'm saying, bro? You feel me? See, we coming up under a European system and we got all that stuff from them. But we don't know their history on why they was using certain words, because they was doing certain things in Europe. Okay, they had 13 colonies, which is 13 is a witch's coven. Okay. They got Krampus. We call it Santa Claus, but Krampus is an evil. See what I'm saying? So we saying words that we got from them doing slavery. But we don't know, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, we be saying kids, 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 but we got to stop using kids. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to get it out my vocabulary because this is a kid, it's a baby goat. My children ain't no baby goats. They ain't no goats. So you calling your children goats. You call your wife a bitch, right? That's a dog. That's a female dog. Just think about this shit. So we calling our children goats and our women dogs. You see what I'm saying? I can't come down to brother because I be saying this shit too, bro. I be saying that all the time. I'm trying to not say that no more. You know what I'm saying? And then I be saying it and they grown. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to say offspring now. Wise. I'm trying to say offspring because I be like my kids and my oldest 40 years old. So even if that meant a child, she ain't no damn child. She's in bad vocabulary. I'm trying to catch myself. I'm definitely trying to eliminate that. That's probably gonna take like another year. After another year, I ain't gonna be saying that no more. I should have been stopped. I should have been stopped saying that. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad habit. Your mom and daddy said it, your grandmama and them said it. Get these kids, right? You know what I'm saying? So see, it's dark out here. They got our gangs, That's one reason all my friends was GDs. And when I became a foe, they was like, Pharaoh, why you didn't become a GD? And I was like, man, I'm not finna be throwing up no devil rakes. I don't want to be under the devil. That's why the BDs and the GDs split. King David, because his name was King David of the BDs, legend has it when he went to jail, he started reading the Bible and he started reading about King David. So he wanted to be under the Star of David. He didn't want to be under the rakes, under the devil. The GDs under the devil. The disciples is under the Star of David. The black disciples. That's why they split, because they used to be black gangster disciples. So there was black gangster disciples. They split. One became black disciple. The other became gangster disciple. But legend has it that King David started reading about King David in the Bible, and he didn't want to be under the rakes. You understand? Right? So they don't got the rakes. Watch. They're not under the rakes. The GD's under the rake. So that's why I really couldn't mess with the GDs. I could, my friends is GDs and stuff. I couldn't go that route, man. Because I'm like, man, I'm not going to be throwing up no, you know what I'm saying? I can't be throwing up no devil stuff. You know what I mean? We don't be knowing no better. So that's why I just show y'all. I don't be trying to dish y'all. Because, we all brought up in a messed up system. And from my generation to y'all generation, we the ones trying to change all this stuff. Because we messed up. We just hop, skip, and a jump out of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Slavery was just yesterday. People just ain't telling y'all that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's going on with them. That's why they split. Because they said King David, from the black disciples, they said when he went to prison, he kept reading about David in the Bible. So he didn't want to be under the rakes. He didn't want to be, the GD's always throwing up the devil. This is the devil. You know what I'm saying? They throwing up the devil. They worshiping the devil. You throwing up pitchforks. The black disciple throw up the trays. They don't throw. They throw up three, but they don't throw up the double like that. No, they not throwing up the double. You feel me? I mean, I'm telling y'all something ain't nobody gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna tell y'all all that. I'm telling you the real. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody else gonna tell you. No, they ain't teaching our people nothing. Well, that's what Diddy on the dark side is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even understand what he been around. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is everywhere. It's everywhere. And that's why they want to blame the youth for the music and stuff. But you can't change the music unless you change the people. You know, you got to change the people. And the people is under darkness right now. Okay. I don't know what kind of excuses y'all making for not having no children. You know what I'm saying? Whatever kind of excuse you want to make up. You understand? You know what I'm saying? You see, they got the devil's forks. They be saying, right? And you see, they ain't. See, the BDs ain't. You understand? The BD's not under Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? The BD's not under Lucifer. The GD's under the rakes. You feel me? See the difference? So that stuff is everywhere. Know what I mean? And they had me in that same space. So I know what Diddy going through because I was in that same space. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was dark like that. I was like extremely dark. After I got stabbed, I went from the light, righteous, to a straight demon. I had to catch myself to get myself back to this. So I know exactly what Diddy going through because I went to a straight demon. For real. Not to the point where I was hitting no women or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I would never hit no women. Because I feel the difference. You don't be feeling nothing because you don't be paying attention. Diddy ain't feel nothing until he went to jail. He just not getting his feelings back. When you in the mix, you don't feel nothing. You just in the mix. You're not thinking. You don't think about it. You just wake up there. Any brothers will tell you, a lot of brothers will tell you that they was in the penitentiary probably about 2 months before they was like, whoa. They'll tell you that even when you get caught, go to court and all that, you still like in the dream. Now, I don't really want to talk about Remy Ma and Papoose. That's too, they marriage relationships, You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, I don't want to talk. That's too gossipy for me. You know what I'm saying? She went for the temptation. She cheated on him, and it's over. He ain't want her back. She's soiled already. You know, when we get with a woman, sometimes she already been with a man, but we don't know nothing about that. Now you with me. Now you my queen. So now you a whole new woman. So now if you go be with another man, it ain't the same if you come back to me. Because now there's a man in between our relationship. No, that ain't gonna, we ain't gonna do that. Some men do it, but most of us now. Once you my wife, I own you. You my possession. And another man got you naked, touching all on you. You nasty to me now. Not like that. You only nasty to me if you come back to me. If you stay with him, you fine. But for me, I ain't gonna feel right with you. I ain't gonna feel right with you. I don't want no woman back that I had that went to some dude. I don't want you back. I might still love you dearly, but I don't love you like that. I don't want you back. Because when I got with you the first time, I wasn't thinking about where you was at. I had just met you. But now, if I'm with you and you with somebody, every time I look at you, I'm going to be thinking about that shit. So that ain't going to work. I'm saying, and I don't trust you no more. And I don't trust you. I ain't going to trust you. Ain't no such thing as black fatigue. You know what I'm saying? Slave owners can't have no black fatigue. You can't bring nobody to the country and then slave them and then talk about you tired. And they just talking. That's the internet. Ain't no such thing as black fatigue. The only people that would be fatigued would be the black people. Would be tired of your ass. How you gonna go get somebody and be tired of them? Make it make some sense. Just saying anything. How you gonna go get some people and enslave them and work them and get rich off of them and then talk about you tired of them? That's crazy. I wouldn't even address that. You know what I'm saying? Only fatigue I know is army fatigues. They better sit down. You know what I'm saying? They're just saying anything. They college kids. That's the new thing. It's college and the internet. So with college and the internet, you can just make up something, then it just hit the internet, then it just, you know what I'm saying? It's a mixture of young and the internet. So don't pay that no attention. That won't last. They're gonna say that'd be over before the summer's over. by the time we get to August, it'll be something else. That ain't even gonna last. The internet. Yeah. Young people in the internet is crazy. Especially young whites, they don't know no history, so you can't be mad at them. They making it up based off of now. They don't know nothing about what their people did. White people don't know no history. They don't teach them history. Black people know way more history than white people. White people don't know no history. They don't know history like that. They're not really good at history. We are better at history than they are. They knew certain history for years, so they didn't got relaxed. We didn't know our history, so we dove into it. And while we dove more into it, they got more and more far away from it. They don't even know white history. They don't know their own history. They don't know much history. They don't. They don't know much history. I don't really pay them too much attention. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you heard brothers talking black fatigue? Well, I don't know. I've been seeing black fatigue, white fatigue. I don't know which one is which. I don't be paying attention to a lot of that stuff like that. Because it be internet stuff. So when I see some new internet stuff, I don't really pay no attention to it because it be like nonsense. When you mix young people, internet, and content creators, you get a mess. Because these brothers going to do anything for content. You know what I'm saying? As the economy get worse, it's going to be more content creators. They try and make $1. You know what I'm saying? So they just doing their thing. I'd be too busy for that stuff. I work for myself, so I ain't got time for that type of stuff. But it is what it is. They just making up stuff. Black fatigue. They can put any definition they want on it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to come over here and talk about this case because people ain't looking at the dark side and the evil that's behind this case. And this evil behind this case, you're going into a justice system that's also got evil in it and righteousness in it. So you're seeing it on both sides. You're seeing it at the highest level of evil and righteousness on the highest level. But you see, the problem with Diddy and a lot of people is they don't know the law. And so people was talking about sex trafficking, but they don't know what sex trafficking is. So that's why people saying, no, that ain't no sex trafficking, but they don't know. You know, a lot of young people don't know the law. They don't know what it really is. They trying to imagine it because they'll take a case. Let's say a dude get a case for sex trafficking, and they'll say he was flying women in from some country. And then you believe that it's got to be that particular case to be sex trafficking based on that particular case. But that's not true. He just got arrested for that type of sex trafficking. But if you move a person from A to B without their consent or you use any type of force, any type of coercion, that's sex trafficking, even in your own city. If you take her from this place to somebody else's place for sexual favors and money, that's sex trafficking because you had to travel. So it's not really about flying and all that. It's about moving a body from here to there for illegal commerce or against their will. This is why so many people be going to prison because it ain't till you in court for you really learn the law. He definitely was sex trafficking. You know what I'm saying? He done. Look, that's a life sentence. Look, the second part. This way gone. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. People don't know what coercion means. Coercion. He got 2 counts. They gave him 2 counts, meaning they already found it. This is the counts they gave him. That means, according to the law, they seen this. It's not debatable. It's just matter of fact, can they get the jury to find him guilty? As far as the justice system is concerned, he did it. This alleges he forced 3 women, how they know it's 3, y'all, into sexual activities and sex trafficking, the 4th one. They know the women. This charge has a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison and a maximum of life. Transportation to engage in prostitution. This charges him with transporting individuals to engage in prostitution. This carries a maximum sentence of 10 years. Is that the same as grape? No, grape is if you force yourself on them. Joshua is a fan. You know what I'm saying? He's a fan. It's a fan. You can't, when you get fans like that, a lot of the fans You can't trust a fan because a fan, the fact they'll overlook somebody doing that means it's a high possibility that they'll do something low life because it doesn't bother Joshua. This doesn't Diddy's behavior don't bother Joshua, which shows you that Joshua, you can't trust him. You know what I'm saying? That's why he got this evil demonic picture. You see his picture? You see he got a demon? See he got a demon face and stuff? He don't even know he evil himself. You know what I'm saying? He over here cheerleading for somebody doing evil and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which means you can't trust him. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust Joshua. Joshua don't look like he got no moral compass. Probably a fanboy. He just loved Diddy. You know what I'm saying? This fanism is like hypnosis, right? So they create these people and they make them these fans. So people like Diddy, what he'll do is he'll pay people. He'll pay people to be there when he get out of the car. And there'd be a crowd and they get in the crowd. And when he got out of the car, they scream and stuff and they have signs, but they work for him. And then they cause everybody else to scream. And it makes everybody think this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to scream, you're supposed to take pictures. This is a star. Then he'll take his pictures and that's how he get his publicity. So they use this hypnosis of stardom, right? To get the light on, to get people to look at them, then they can sell you stuff. That's why they always like to get famous people to do the commercials. They use your stardom. You know what I'm saying? They use your stardom to hypnotize you. And typically, if you come into a business and you don't do stardom, they'll keep you down. So if I'm coming up, I'm trying to start a business or whatever, and I get around these other people in the business, the ones that suck up to them and run behind them, they'll get the opportunity. And the one like me that ain't gonna do that, I won't get the opportunity. To get the opportunity, you gotta suck up to people to get the opportunity. But once you suck up to people to get the opportunity, and if they give you a close opportunity, then they won't try to manipulate you because you're a fan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Afrolicious, but I mean, the thing is this. He got sloppy and now he's jeopardizing everybody else. So he gotta go. Because he's jeopardizing other people that's doing the same thing. So when you start jeopardizing the whole underground ring, you gotta go. It ain't no coincidence he locked up the same place Jeffrey Epstein was locked up. He gotta go. You get too sloppy. He couldn't handle the business. He wanted to be famous. That's why he's horrible as a music person. He always wanted to be more famous than his artist. He's a nut. He's the first CEO of a record label that was that bad like that. We've had them though. You know, Jermaine Dupri was a little weird with that. But if you're an artist, if you're a CEO of a record label and you bigger than the artist, that's not good. So he was a guy that always wanted to be an artist, but just didn't have the talent. So he used the artist and pimped the artist too to make himself. He's a selfish dude. It's all about look at him, look at him, look at him. I mean, he wanted the fame so bad he did all kind of clown stuff to get the fame. That's why he was all out there dancing and all that. Bro, you the producer of the record label. Why is you out there dancing around? He Diddy dancing. Soon as Biggie got destroyed, he went and dropped the album. I mean, he couldn't wait. That's what he really wanted to do. So that's why nobody else had a chance over there. He wanted to be the star. He's got an ego problem. He sold his soul to Lucifer. Now it's time to collect. They're not gonna come collect when you think they're gonna collect. When you sell your soul to the devil like that, and you get promises you're gonna get all this stuff, they never give you a date on how long you're gonna keep it. So you sell your soul, you get the stuff, and then boom, you're out of here. You do all this weirdo stuff. You look at all the weirdos that set all these bad examples for the black community. Michael Jackson, Prince. Look at all of them that went on that dark Luciferian side, that didn't keep their masculinity, that went and set a bad example of strong black men. Look at every last one of them. Look at Michael Jackson, straight weirdo. Look, black men loved him. Prince. What kind of black man like Prince? It ain't no strong black man in the world gonna like no damn Prince. Come on, man, Prince. What strong black man like Prince with some tights on and some high heel shoes? Talking about he gonna be your mother and your sister too. Yeah. That's it. Man, you gonna be my mama and my sister. What? And black folks, man, Prince is good, Pharaoh. I'm like, okay, pause. Okay, write down. Don't hang out with Edgar. Canceled. Bro, I ain't coming to your crib. You want to be my mother and my sister too. You ain't got no masculinity in your bone. When your wife go to work, you probably putting on wigs on and all that. What a lot of people don't understand about purple is the purples are the color of a bruise. See, it be a lot of Satanism. Remember, Michael Jackson came back as a werewolf in Thriller. He was a demon. He was around Vincent Price and vampires and shit. He came back doing vampire and werewolf. But people didn't peep it. I've been teaching this back. I was teaching this back in the 80s about Michael Jackson come back as a werewolf. You know what I'm saying? He came back and doing demon shit. That's why he got big. He sold his soul to Lucifer. He came back with Vincent Price. Y'all don't know Vincent Price. Yeah, he got bit. That's another story. Who seen with Michael Jackson when that guy went out to Neverland? That dude from India, Deepak or whatever, interviewed Michael. Did y'all see when he jumped up in that tree? Hold on. Did y'all see Michael Jackson up in that tree? That's when I knew. Oh, okay. Y'all didn't see him jump up in that tree? You would have had to see how he went up there. Y'all didn't see how he jumped up there? I said, oh. I said, oh, he got bit. I said, oh, they got him. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he was an animal. You could tell he was an animal. And that's my old teachers. I don't even teach this stuff no more. You could tell he was an animal. I don't think he was a vampire. I think he was a werewolf. I think he was a werewolf. I don't think he was no vampire. Yeah, he was a creature. I think so. It's not the fact he was in the tree, it's the way he went up there. You have to watch it live. The way he went up there, it wasn't like a human. And Michael Jackson had extreme strength. You know what I'm saying? I met his security guy, the martial art expert. He had the top martial art experts, one of the ones in the world. And dude said he'll fight anybody. He said the only person he wouldn't fight was Michael Jackson. I said, why? He said he told me, he said Michael had some unusual power. He said Michael got some unusual power and some unusual speed. That's what he said. He said, that's the only person I would never want to fight. He said, I'll fight anybody else. What's going on, Brad? That's what his martial art expert told me. You know what I'm saying? I seen him do that tour I went to when he came to LA. And yeah, he was something different. But he came back in on the dark side. That's how he got back in the game, though. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know about Vincent Price, you know, he came back in the game with Vincent Price. You know what I'm saying? So they was on some Satanism. You know what I mean? They did it right in front of everybody. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? They did it right in front of everybody. Nobody seen it. It was deep. They came back on some Satanism as the world's #1 selling album. That's deep. I said, and they did that right in front of everybody. Nobody even seen it. It was deep. Sold his soul to the devil. Sold his soul. He sold his soul to the dark side. See, Vincent Price was big when I was a child. Him and the dude that played the vampire all the time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. See what time they on? Just look at the cover. Schools. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He came back. He came back with the dudes. He came back with the dudes that played demons. Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi always played vampires. You know what I'm saying? It was on Demon Time. It did it right in front of everybody. Blew up. You understand? I was a young Pharaoh like I am now, so I seen all that then. I've been doing this. If there wasn't no internet, I've been breaking stuff like that down before it was internet. Anybody that been around me will tell you, man, Pharaoh been peeped a lot of this stuff people have been saying. I've been saying that back years ago when the album came out. I said, oh, okay, he had to go get with the devil. You know what I'm saying? Vincent Price always was a demon. I still got my old philosophy. Check this out. Check this out. I'm gonna hit y'all with some of my old philosophy. You know, John Wayne always played a cowboy. Right? Watch this. I'll hit y'all with some of the, show you how long I've been doing this. Watch this. All right. Watch this. This is what I used to teach. Let me get out of the picture. I'm gonna take y'all back to the young Pharaoh, the real original young Pharaoh. Watch this. On my soul. We're gonna go all the way back to when I first was out here. I'll show y'all one of my old philosophies. Y'all getting the real today. No way. Nobody don't know this stuff. This is when I was teaching outside. I used to have to teach outside. I used to have to teach on the buses and teach on the blocks, and teach on the beach, teach when the black brothers would gather, the conscious brothers be standing around. And I used to teach this stuff. Watch this. I'm gonna give you one of the old teachings. I'm gonna give you one of the old teachings. We're gonna go all the way back. Watch this. Because I figured it out. I figured out what they was doing. Yeah, I figured it out. I said, oh, I see what they doing. Watch this. Where they at? Yeah, I figured it out. Let me line it up for you. Come on, man. Where is it at? I should teach some of that stuff again. I should dig up some of my, that would be good. I should dig up some of my classic teachings. I should do that. I should dig up some of my old classic teachings. This is serious though. What I'm finna show y'all is serious. What I'm finna show y'all is serious. So this is what I used to teach. Because I started realizing when I was growing up and I was little, my mother used to watch cowboy pictures, right? And one of the stars, and a lot of people like John Wayne was in the cowboy pictures, right? And so what was interesting is John Wayne was playing a cowboy, but John Wayne was really a cowboy. So it wasn't that hard for him to act because he was from back in the days where they had ranches and they had cattle. So it's easy for him to play a cowboy because he's from the cowboy era, right? Right? So I used to say, okay, John Wayne played a cowboy a lot and he was a cowboy. I said, George Raff played a gangster a lot and he was really a gangster. Yeah, he was a gangster that played a gangster. He was a cowboy that played a cowboy. Think about that. So I was like, John Wayne is a cowboy that played a cowboy. He was a good cowboy because he was a cowboy. I was like, George Raff was a great gangster because he really was a gangster. So then I asked people, so what was Bela Lugosi? He played a good vampire. Mic drop. I used to be like, he played a good gangster, a good cowboy because he was a cowboy. He played a good gangster because he was a gangster. Why this dude played a vampire all the time? Why this dude play a vampire all the time? If you do your history, you know, they brought them under them ships with the dirt from the old land. You remember vampires' coffins had the dirt from Transylvania or from wherever they came from. I'll be talking about this stuff over on Kemet, from Kemet to Chicago. He was buried as a vampire. New Orleans was full of them. New Orleans was full of them. New York, the East Coast, New York, Jersey, and New Orleans was full of them. That's when I used to teach on buses and trains and stuff like that. I'd be on a bus and train. You know what I'm saying? That's when I used to be on buses and trains teaching and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's when I used to be outside teaching as a shorty. You know what I mean? I used to be out teaching. They'd be mesmerized on the L train. Whoa. And that's why I used to have to diss dudes live. Dudes would interrupt my stuff, and we used to get in. I used to get in on them. Yeah, this Pharaoh right here. That's my mother's living room. She was really good with plants. Yeah, him. He used to be out there. That was me and my more sacred type of vibe. But when I was outside, I was more like this though. A little bit rough around the edges. So this Diddy case is a matter of, it's basically what you're watching is you're watching the manifestation of evil through these influences of these different networks and businesses in the music industry, in movies and stuff like that. It was really evil. It's not fake. But they was doing it right in front of your face. They was naming the record labels Murder Inc., Death Row, Bad Boys, not good boys, not good men, bad, bad, murder, death. That was the name of the labels. Think about it. That was the name of the labels. Bad, murder, death. Think about it. And all the imagery was dark. Think about it. It was all on the dark side. It was all evil. So when you see all these dudes crying about the record labels today and the shorties today, they don't want to take the fact that they the ones started all that. They the ones birthed all that stuff. Come on, man, look at this. Death. That's what they was pushing. Death and murder. Now they want to get out on the shorties when they raised their fathers. These drill rappers, what was their fathers raised on? Their fathers in the penitentiary. The shorties. Their fathers is in the penitentiary from music way back in the 90s. Look at this. Why they want to wear blood red? Why they want to represent that? These supposed to be enemies. They don't look like enemies, do they? Man, let me tell you something about him looking like a Fruity Loop. Let me explain something about that. If righteousness is be fruitful and multiply, and a man that was a woman, what is Lucifer? If righteousness is a man and a woman and have some children, what is Lucifer? Lucifer is a man and a man, a woman and a woman. Don't have no children. Don't have no children. Go get some money. Don't have no babies. Go get some money. And then the Luciferian system, make sure you can't have no children because they won't give you no money. We're not going to give you no money so you could be a Luciferian. So the money's tight. So go out there and preach to your people. Don't have no babies. Don't have no babies until you get your money together. Don't have no babies. Don't have no babies. Don't have no babies till you get your money together. You 20, you say don't have no babies to get your money together. You 30, don't have no babies, you get your money together. You get 39, 40, you trying to have a baby, you can't have a baby, you go to the doctor and say your sperm count down. You sterile. Because the same time you saying don't have no baby, they feeding you food to sterilize you. They feeding you food to shrink your testosterone levels. So while you constantly talking, don't have no babies, don't have no babies, don't have no babies, you ain't going to be able to have no baby. You understand? You ain't going to be able to have no babies. The practice of sex other than in the vagina was done so that you wouldn't have babies you couldn't feed. A lot of people don't know that. So when people lived in real cold climates where the food was short They would be in a cave and they wouldn't have intercourse with a woman in the front because they don't want her to get pregnant. So they use any other hole but that one because they ain't got no food to feed no baby. So that was based off of living in an environment where you might not be able to feed the baby, you and the woman barely finding and scavenging for enough food. So to have y'all now saying you ain't having no baby because you don't feel like you economically ready is that same energy that you didn't let them put that on you. And the same brother saying he don't want no baby because he can't pay for it is at the weed spot 20, 20, 20, 20, buying pills 30, 30, back could have been fed a baby, giving away enough money. Every one of these brothers that say they can't afford a baby is lying. Every one of them. Every brother on the internet that say they not having no baby because they ain't economically ready is lying. They buying alcohol, they buying drugs, they buying sneakers. They some pussy ass niggas that don't want to grow up. They want to be motherfucking kids. They want the new Jordans. They don't want to have to buy their son and their daughters no Jordans. Everybody know the children's Jordans is cheaper than the adults. They have them niggas lying. They some big ass little ass boys that won't be able to go back live at their mommy house or live off a woman and throwing away money, drinking and buying drugs and tricking off. They got enough money to raise a baby. A baby is cheaper than what they be spending. What they be spending to run around and have fun is way cheaper than a baby. That's a fact. And then some of them, they said they can't trust no woman because their mama probably was out there. So mommy wasn't no good woman. She was always with different men. So you think your woman gonna be like your mama. Your mom was a bust down, so you scared. What you mean you could beat the woman if the woman would listen? Let me tell you something. Any man that's telling you the woman is a problem, I'm telling you it's the man. Ain't no strong man gonna say no woman is no problem. Okay? All right? Ain't no man gonna say he can't control no woman. Only a weirdo say that. Brothers want me to listen to them saying why they can't have no baby. And they the same era always talking about sleeping with somebody else baby mama, sleeping with somebody else woman. What make it make some sense? You the generation saying you don't want to have no baby till you get your money together, and you also saying I'll sleep with your I'll sleep with your baby mama or I'll sleep with your girl. Make that make some sense. And you always talking about sleeping with somebody else's woman. How you always talking about sleeping with somebody else's woman and talking about you don't want to have no children at the same time? That just show you demonic. You've been bought and paid for by the system. You selling evil. You selling evil. You selling evil 100%. Just the fact you generalizing mean you a loser. Show me anybody over here could say women this, and they really speaking for every woman. Who believe that you can make a statement about women and that apply to every woman? Does anybody believe that? Does anybody believe that? Because statistically, that don't make no sense. If it's 45 million black people We'll say 46. If we split it even, it'll be 23 million women and 23 million men. So you're telling me that you could speak for all 23 million women is the same exact way. And you live somewhere and you don't even know no women in your little town. And you speaking for women all over the country. When any real man know that women act different, especially depending on where you go. Women act regional. And how a lot of women act in Chicago ain't got nothing to do with how women gonna act in Mississippi. Tell that to some lame. Tell that to some sucker or something. Don't try to tell Big Pharaoh. None of them make believes. You sound like a fool. You ain't even been nowhere. And you talking about women. And you ain't never been off your block or out your little neighborhood. You been in that little city your whole life. Just talk about women. And you ain't been around no women. You ain't been around no women. You're a little boy. What women you been around? Selling lies out here to the people. When you out here and you grow up, you meet very few women. Just the women in your little space. You don't meet women. You know what I mean? Come on, man. How you meet women? Where you meet women at? If I'm in Chicago, I'm 18, 19, or in my 20s, I'm only going to meet the women I could bump into. I'm not going to meet all these women in Chicago. So how am I going to give you a statement about women in Chicago? Like, are you serious? Based off of the few women I'm going to get to, because you don't get to bump into no lot of women. Tell that to somebody else. I'm the realest alive. Don't try to tell me no make-believe stories. You're talking make-believe. And when you go to grade school and you go to high school and college, you have not met that many women. Tell that to somebody else, man. That make-believe story. You have not met enough women to come with them type of conclusions. Are you kidding me? Tell that to some lame that want to hear you generalize like that. And you probably know, you're out of all the women that you know personally, if you're asking your 20, you probably only know at the most 20 damn women, if that many. You might know some of the girls you grew up with when y'all was kids. But as far as adult women, when you in your 20s, I bet you don't know 20 women. I bet you can't go to your phone book and call 20 women. I bet you. Not to mention 30, not to mention 50 or 100. So if you live in a big city and you don't know 100 women, how you going to say what women is like? And you ain't dated 100 women. And there's thousands of women in your damn city. You sound like a fool. How you going to tell me that? Seriously, based on what? Give me some numbers. I don't like people just saying, don't tell me these women nothing. Give me some real numbers. You ain't gonna date no 50 women. It ain't no way you're gonna be with 50 women and don't like one of them and keep seeing her a long time. Tell that bullshit to somebody else. If you're gonna date this woman and that woman, that might stick for 3 years. That one might be your girlfriend for 3 years. You do not gonna, come on, man, stop it. Stop. Stop. So by the time your ass get in your 40s, you done been in some relationships that lasted some years. You done been in a relationship last some years. Try to somebody else. Very few relationships only last a year. Relationships, a short relationship, be like 3 years. That's a short one. That's a fact. I know they gay. They just don't want to say that. They like men, but they don't want to say it. You know what I'm saying? They like men. You know what I'm saying? They love their boy. They just ain't told them yet. They in the closet. They call their boy, come on, man. What we going to do today, man? They call him every day. That's my boy, man. That's my boy. That's my boy. They always with their boy. You know what I'm saying? A G like me, I don't be with no boy. I'm knocking stuff back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be with a woman quick. Once I'm outside, I'm gonna be with a woman. I love women. There ain't no problem to me. There ain't no more problem than we are. It's just about matching up. Sometimes the women get the knucklehead man, and sometimes the good man get the knucklehead woman. It's about the two good ones hooking up, and you knuckleheads stay out the way. If you knuckleheads will stay out the way, then the rest of us can make something happen. But you can't, just because I bumped into a knucklehead, it don't mean everybody's a knucklehead. I done been in a situation where I kind of like her, and we kind of hanging out. I could tell she feeling me, and I kind of like her, and then I chose her, and then maybe at a while I think, damn, I should have chose her. I picked the wrong one. You know what I mean? I never regret it. Like if we have a baby, I just ride with it. I'll never regret it. I'll never regret getting with no woman. You know, young brothers, I might do. I need to do a whole live today just on women and talk to y'all about women. You don't never regret getting with no woman. You get with her, you see what happened. It don't go good. You get with another one. The problem is they're gonna take you for child support and all that because you're a bum and a woman not gonna take you for child support if you're a gangster, if you're a player. They ain't gonna take you for child support. They only gonna take you for child support because you're a bum. So you're a bum. She got to take you for child support because you won't take care of your baby. She got to make you take care of because you're a bum. These is all facts. The only time brothers getting robbed for child support and stuff like that is they got it with a gold digger because he think he a big NFL player. And like a fool, he married this woman. She took him for his bread. She going to marry him. She going to dump him. She going to get a big alimony because she married him for a check. But typically in a relationship, if you're with a woman and y'all have a child, and y'all living together and y'all co-parenting and you take care of the child, and y'all broke up, and she know you still gonna give her bread and stuff. She not gonna go to no child support when you take care. My middle daughter, me and her mother break up. She didn't go to child support. Who you think about all the Christmas toys? Who you think about food once or whatever? My daughter, if she's hungry, if she there and she hungry, and mama ain't went shopping and stuff, went to a grocery store, she gonna pick up the phone. Daddy, go get me a pizza. It ain't will you get me a pizza? If you a real man. She don't say, Daddy, will you get me a pizza? She say, Daddy, go get me a pizza. I'm like, okay, I'll be there at 30, but I'll be there about an hour. Let me go. I'm gonna call you, order it so I'll be ready when I get out there. That mama ain't taking me to no damn whatever. I had a woman, she went and got on child support because she was living in another state. She wanted to go because her sickle cell was better out there, and her mom and everybody was out there. So she went and took my daughter out there. And then she was living some kind of way. She went and was getting welfare to help her out. So then welfare found me. They found me. She didn't send them after me. She told them she didn't know where I was at. They found me and wanted some money. I ain't give a damn. I still was sending her money. I sent her money. I didn't get them shit. But I would have if they just would have pushed the line. They could track me down to get nothing. But it's not like I needed to pay child support to take care of her. I was sending them money. They didn't want me to pay child support. They wanted me to pay them back for the money they gave her. I wasn't giving them shit. I've been sending them money. I kept all my receipts. I didn't go take my receipts down there and say, y'all, she lying. Look at all these receipts. So she would have went to jail. She would have went to jail. I'm a G. I didn't say nothing. I could have went to the state of California that wanted the back pay. I could have said she told y'all she didn't know I was at. She knew I was at. Look at all these receipts. I didn't do that. I'm a G. I sent the money and fuck the state. You know what I'm saying? And then if they would have got me down and they would have actually wanted the money, I would have paid it. I wouldn't have made that woman. I wouldn't have punished that woman. That's my daughter's mama. How you so stingy you don't want to give your child mama nothing? That's your child mama. That's not just a woman. I don't care if she get remarried or whatever. That's still your child's mother. Your child mother's supposed to always be VIP forever. Y'all tripping. You can't touch none of my children's mother if they ain't with a man and he ain't on nothing. You finna get did dirty. Cause that's a bond. We got that bond forever. We ain't gotta be in no relationship. I don't gotta be in no relationship. That's my child mother. Period. She under special protection. I'm not beefing with my child mother. We broke up. So whatever. Y'all young brothers gotta be more hardcore. Y'all too feminine. But we don't care. We broke up. It didn't work out. Oh well. Okay. And the fuck that got to do with the price of tea in China? Real gangsters, we don't care about bye. We don't care about none of that. We not emotional. Oh man, throw my last baby mama, man. My mama, we broke up, man. We don't care. I don't care about none of that. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They not no riders. They ain't no soldiers. I'm trying to bring them up though, Ivy. I'm trying to bring these young brothers up and tell them, you got a baby mom, you got a woman, boom, y'all, she get pregnant. If she cheat on you, you might want to get a DNA. But if she cheat on you, all right, she cheated. All right, y'all break up. All right, she got the baby. Okay, take care of the baby. All right, she cheated, but she's still under special protection. You know what I'm saying? The only reason you mad she cheated because you ain't got no worth. If you had some worth, you wouldn't be mad because you'll be like, well, she cheated herself. You know, she cheated herself. She should stay with a real G. Hey, good luck with that. I mean, hope that works out for you. You know what I'm saying? We don't replace them. We don't chase them. We replace them. Listen, I'm doing something else right now. I ain't got time to be concentrating on you. I don't know how you laying around concentrating on her. Go get you another one, but she still gets special protection. You feel me? She still gets special protection. None of my children can call me crying and upset. See what I'm saying? So people be like, oh, you a sucker for the woman. No, my children. If something happened to their mama, it affect my children. It affect my children. If something happened to their mama, that's their mama. So I don't want my children to be sad like that. You're not finna go do nothing to my children, mama, and upset my children. You're gonna upset my children. It really ain't got nothing to do with her. It ain't got nothing to do with the mother. It got something to do with my children. You upset my children. That's their mama. You cannot be upsetting my children. Leave their fucking mama alone. We're going to have a problem. But see, that's over your head. You don't understand that. I'm protecting my children. I want my children to still have a happy, good life. I want them to have no sad life. You're not finna go beat up my children, mother or my children there. Something bad gonna happen to you. Yeah, something bad gonna happen to you. Their mama gonna tell you, you need to calm down. Before my daughter daddy find out you're here tripping, it's gonna go bad for you. I ain't risking nothing. That's my daughter. Risking is doing some stuff when you put yourself at risk. I don't know what happened to you. I ain't risking nothing. I'm really that. I don't know what happened to you. I don't crash out. I'm not crashing out. I'm not crashing out. I'm not calling. I'm not I'm not saying nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing to the baby mama. I'll be like, oh well, just leave it alone. It'll work out. I'm not finna tell her, okay, I'm finna come handle that because she gonna snitch. I'm not finna tell her nothing. Last thing they know, I said, hey, what it is. I play like I didn't give a damn. I'm not finna tell you nothing. Listen, brothers, listen to me, keep your mouth shut. I'm a crash them, but I'm not, listen. You always battling the police, okay? It's the police first, okay? It's the police first. But you can't do nothing to my sister. You can't do nothing to my none of my children's mothers ever in your life. You cannot upset my children. You cannot say nothing to their mother. Their mother protected forever. Period. She under my protection forever. Because that's my children's mother. It's real simple. That's why I'm not going to do nothing to her because why would I do something to my children's mother and hurt my children? Y'all don't be thinking. Y'all don't be thinking. The more comfortable that she is, the better it is for your children. So why you so stingy? You don't want to make her comfortable. But it help your baby. Your baby be 18 before you know it. It ain't no big deal. How you so stingy? You don't want to give no money. Listen, I give you an example. A woman got my daughter, right? She got my daughter. I'm struggling. I ain't really sending no money and stuff like that. So she paying the mortgage or the rent. She paying the car. She buying gas for the car. Every time my child eats, she doing whatever, right? So why I gotta micromanage the money when I send it? Okay, I send her $800. I don't give a damn what she do with it. She done already spent the money on the baby. How you gonna go and want to tell her how to spend the money on the baby when every day the baby live with her? Money being spent on the child every day. So why you trying to say this $800 got to go to your child? What about all the food your child eat with her all the time? That ain't your money. So a lot of times I'm giving her money back that she already spending on the baby. Where the gangsters at? Where the soldiers at? So now you say, but Pharaoh, I want my baby. Because okay, then you call your baby, find out what shoe size they wear, and you send them 3 pair of shoes. You send them clothes. Then it's real simple. If you want them to have something specific, then send that. Oh, duh. Other than that, send the mama the money. I don't care what she do with it. I don't care what she do with it. She the one taking care of the baby every day. I'm not finna micromanage these women's money here. Okay, she got up some money, she bought a new car. Okay. My baby be in the car. You know what I'm saying? My baby be in the car. What we doing? What we doing? I was in a relationship, was out of a relationship I was out of. My son was still living over there because his mother was not even in the city and she passed away eventually. So he was with my second wife. And when I met somebody else, I didn't want to drag him. I just left him there with his little sister. I had a girl. I had my son living there. I love him there. That was over here. And she had 3 children and my daughter. So when Christmas came, I bought a bunch of stuff for this house and I bought a bunch of stuff for this house. I bought both houses. I bought all the children, the stepchildren, my daughter over here, my my niece in law, my son and my daughter over here. I bought all of their stuff and dropped them off at both households, the house I was living at, the house I was. I bought all their stuff. Even my ex's niece, because she was raising her niece because her sister got sick and couldn't raise the baby. And I was taking care of her when I was there, so I stepped by here and here. I had to do 2 Christmas shoppings. What the hell do I care? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna long live Kevin Samuels? He dead. You know what I'm saying? You like Kevin Samuels? That's who you used to get your advice from, Kevin Samuels? That's who you used to get your advice from? Sancha? That's who you used to get your advice from, him? Yeah, pause. This your man. What's your name? This your man, Sancha? This who you used to get your advice from about women? Huh? This who you used to listen to? Huh, girl? Huh? This who you listen to? This your man's? Sancha, this your man's? Huh? This who you get your advice from? He know everything about women? What you talk about, it was your seed up in somebody and all that weirdo stuff you was talking about. What's your name? This dude right here. Okay. Okay, you was talking to her. I got you. I thought you were trying to tell jokes. I got you. This is man. Let me show you. He loved Kevin Samuels. Look. Why your picture look like you're on a jail phone? He loved Kevin Samuels. He like, I just love Kevin. He just loved Kevin. You love Kevin? You miss him? You be at home crying, talking about you and I can make a pact. We can bring salvation back. Just call my name and I'll be there. That's what you be singing? That's your mans and stuff? This your y'all too much for me. All right, man. He love Kevin. Yes, he do. Kevin just gonna show you how to treat a woman. Kevin done showed him how to treat a woman. He sure have. He learned from the best. Yeah, he learned from the best. Now, this will teach you. He can teach you about a woman. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He sure was the one to listen to about a woman. I mean, he knows women. He really knew them. He really knew about women. He knew everything about them. He know how they dress. For sure. He for sure know how they. He for sure knew how they dress. This is who you listen to. He can tell you everything about women. It is what it is. That's because they didn't know what they was looking at. I clicked on it one time and I was like, child, please, unclick. I already knew what I was looking at. If you ain't know what you was looking at, that's why you got women problems. Yeah, I hear you, bro. Yeah, but guess what? Short-lived you blocked. That's it. Look how short your life was in the chat. But if you don't get your weirdo stuff out of here, I don't know. He probably remind you of your daddy though. So I understand. He's just like my daddy and my grandpa. Man, listen. I don't think I would take advice about women from this dude. Brothers, ain't nobody finna go no war for no Kevin Samuels. That's the internet, G-Rock. The internet not real. It ain't really no lot of street dudes on the internet but me. There ain't no too many real people on the internet. The internet not real, bro. Don't believe that stuff. A lot of his male, a lot of his male fans don't like women, bro. Them was gay men watching him and argue for him. Gay black men hate black women the most. Black women's biggest opposition is gay black men. Y'all ain't watch Jerry Springer and Maury and see all them gay black men on there want to fight the women? He with me now, though. Y'all ain't never seen that? When he with the gay dude and then this woman come out and the gay dude want to fight her for him. Y'all ain't, where the real people at? Yeah. He didn't have no money. He was trying to hustle on the internet. I ain't gonna hate on this hustle. But dude didn't even deal with women like that. Not like that. That was like associates. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because back when when you in the hood and you black like that, the TV just be on. You know what I'm saying? So the TV be on, boom. You know what I'm saying? When you're a black man, you come up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? We watch a lot of stuff because our lady got it on. You know what I'm saying? Where the real dudes at? The majority of TV we see because our wife got it on or our lady got it on. That's how we see the majority of our TV for the black man in the black community. The most TV we see is because wife be watching it or your lady watching it. She be watching that. And so for the real black man, we watch a certain kind of TV. The way the black man watch TV is we watch her watching TV. It'd be better than TV. It's like a three-way situation. It's me, then it's her watching the TV. I'm watching what the TV doing. I'm cracking off of her response. It's better than TV. Where the brothers at? Not the bet. The one thing that's definitely better than TV is watching your woman watch TV. Is way better than TV. That's raw. I said we need a reality show like that. That's the rawest shit you ever seen in your life to hear what we be saying while she watching TV and hear our conversation is cold. It's better than TV. That's one of the most exciting points of a relationship with a woman is watching her watch TV. Boy, that's raw. That's a raw, boy. That is raw, raw right there. Hey man, that is raw. That's as black as it get. Boy, that is funny. It's funny too. She be funnier than the TV. She be tripping. You know, the women, they really be tripping with the TV. So it's nice watching them trip with TV. That's how I would watch it, because I would never turn that on. You know, I don't turn the TV on. If I turn TV on, it's because the Bulls playing or something. I don't turn it on the TV, or Rap City or something was on or something. I don't watch TV. But I watch my queen watch TV. Where the brothers at? We don't got no real men no more, huh? The most TV we watch is whatever our women is watching. You ever been watching TV and then it's a dude on there cheating or doing something bogus, and then she get all tight? He be like, oh, listen, that's him, all right? Okay, come on now. She ready to go off on you. He done made her mad. She trying to look at you like she wish you would do what he do. Why you trying to wish I would do this dude? You know what I'm saying? They get to looking at you crazy. Because this dude done cheated on this woman. And now she looking at you like, yeah, you like, listen, leave me out of that. I don't got nothing to do with him. You're going to have to turn that TV off if you can't just watch it and keep it over there. Come on now, don't put me in there. I don't know. I've seen all these shows, but I've seen the secondhand, Married to Medicine, is that one? Atlanta Housewives, Basketball Wives. I've seen all that stuff. But I didn't turn it off. The queen be watching it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I seen all that stuff. I wouldn't, because men, we don't know how to find nothing on TV anyway. We can't find nothing on TV. We ain't good with TV. Men ain't good with TV unless it's just me. We don't know how to find nothing. All of the good series I seen, all of the good movies I seen, the woman turned it off. That's how I seen The Last Kingdom. My queen was watching it. And I sat there. I was like, damn, this shit good. Then I started watching it, but I would have never found it. I can't find TV shows like them. They find the shows. I can't find them. I can't be looking for nothing to watch. I don't know. Maybe some dudes can. I just can't be trying to find nothing to watch. That's kind of, I don't know. It's irritating trying to find something to watch. Especially now I got this TV with all these channels and all these movies. Then you click on the movie, it come on, you watch it for 15 minutes. I ain't watching this. Okay, turn this shit off. Let me go to Instagram. It's popping. Let me go to YouTube where it's up. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to YouTube. Yeah, let me go to YouTube. You know what I mean? Which be a lot. I can't do that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm finna end this. Like, I can't do what they be doing. Y'all seen Whack 100 talking about Nipsey? Ugh. Man. Just in case, I just throw that out there because like I tell you, I see everything. You see when it found the dude, you know what I mean? Man, he went and had the dude over there that whatever, on gossip. So somebody else tell her. I just put that out there for the people that seen it. I'm not going to tell y'all. This the ones know it. The ones that seen it know what I'm saying because they know on gossip. They prefer for the baby and the mother to be on the bus or a train. Sometime Sometimes, if they can't afford it, you know what I mean, oh man, you don't even want to know, bro. Y'all will see in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sometime, sometime on the other hand, Ivy, it depends, on the situation with the woman. He wrong for it. Wack didn't really do nothing. Wack was talking to somebody. They exposed it. But Wack never told nobody. He was talking to a friend. He was talking to one person, and that one person exposed it. And then Wack said, I was trying to keep it. I wasn't going to let nobody know. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to let nobody know. And then they were saying Wack lying, and then now Wack proving he ain't lying. And when it got the dude that was there, and certain people name coming up in the Diddy, oh man, people name came up in the Diddy thing too. Yeah, I seen that. That's gonna be all the rest of this week, all weekend next week. Yeah, that's gonna be bubbling like that, like bubbling. It ain't no good look though. It's a bad look. It's a bad look for Nip. Don't look good. His legacy is kind of crazy because his national legacy just was after his death. He didn't have that legacy like that before his death. He was big in Cali though. He wasn't dropping major music like that for the rest of the world, for the rest of the country. Chicago, we didn't really pay no attention to him. I think I started paying attention to him when he started talking about crypto. Because it was like when he first came out, everybody paid attention to him because he was like I was like, dang, it's a young Snoop Dogg. Yeah, I said, that's young Snoop Dogg. And then he kind of like disappeared, it seemed like. And then he started coming back out. Then when he sold that album for $100 each, I was smart. I started paying him some attention. Yeah, rest in peace to Nip. Whack, is an opportunist, It's a social media era. Tell everything, get paid, monetize it. Tell everything and monetize. I can't hate on. Do what you do. It is what it is. Welcome to the internet. Yeah, I heard about Cool and the Gang member. We ain't gonna have all of them gonna be gone soon. We from an older generation. A lot of them didn't eat right, didn't take care of themselves. Some of them was doing drugs. So all of the older artists, pretty soon there ain't gonna be nobody left from none of these albums. Yeah, it's a shame. They worked hard to get to where they are. They was kind of struggling, but then they finally caught a groove and popped out. You know, I think with Summer Madness, was that them that did Summer Madness? When they came out Hollywood singing Hollywood, and then they blew up. So much competition. Shit, you got the Commodores, you got the Ohio players, the Ozzy brothers. They had a lot of competition. It was rough for a group back then, but they booked a lot of shows, so you could make money because there was a lot of concerts. Ain't no concerts nowadays. All right, so listen, what is 9 at night? I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come and do something else. I'm gonna talk about something else. I'm not sure what. The Diddy trial finna be crazy though. It's gonna be crazy, but he might be able to get he might be able to get them to bring it up. Even if he lose, he might be able to get an appeal just based on the fingerprint. The fingerprints got lost. His followers did go to his funeral. Who? Who? Oh, you talk about Kevin Samuels. They didn't go to his funeral, or they went. Kevin was all right. I'm not anti Kevin. Kevin was trying to get himself to be a talk show person. You know, he was trying to get himself to be a talk show person. But I didn't like his European standard for black women. Yeah, tomorrow at 5, I think so. I've been kicking that show down the road because I don't know if I want to talk about that. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that show. That's why I've been kicking it down. It's uh right now I don't want to be getting on Donald Trump's radar at all. Because he putting hits on people for real. So I don't really want to mess with dude. So I might not even do it. I would advise all y'all, if you do, leave Trump alone. Just don't say nothing. Because he really will send them people after you. He not going by no rules. So you get up here saying the wrong thing about Trump. Next thing you know, the feds at your door. That's for real. That's like a real threat. Seriously. Like, leave dude alone. Don't post nothing about him. Don't say nothing about him. So I might not even do that live. I'm not really finna post nothing about dude or say nothing about dude. He not going by the rules. He on some other dictator stuff. And when you're dealing with a dictator, you don't need to be seen. How could you take advice? Well, uh, as far as not having a successful relationship, when it comes to relationship advice, I would think that a person that had a bunch of failed relationships would be better about relationships than a person in a relationship. Because a person that's in one relationship don't know nothing about relationships because they just in that one and they just happen to get along and they just happen to coincide and go. So you wouldn't really be an expert on relationships because you don't have to do nothing to manage your relationship, or you don't have to get in relationships because you're just in one. So I would think a person that's been in a lot of relationships would be a better expert than somebody that's been married. Now, I think somebody that's been married could talk about being married. Okay, like my mother and father was together their whole life. Now they could talk about being together the whole time, but they can't talk about relationships because they got together when they was young 20s and just stayed together. So they don't know shit about relationships. They know about marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because relationships is not really marriage. Relationships is the situation when you first get together is really the most interesting part. So I think you could talk about relationships. I thought he was all right with it. I just didn't like his standard of what a beautiful woman was. He had a white standard of a beautiful black woman. That's the part I didn't like. He had a European standard. He didn't have a black American standard or an African standard. So that's why I didn't like him. Because his standards was based on European standards. That's the problem I had with him. Sometime I probably do that on from Kemet to Chicago. I probably don't want to do that over here because the reason I don't like talking about that type of stuff, Michael, is because when I'm talking about stuff like that, brothers and sisters be in different religions and stuff, and then they turn it into a competition type thing, and so it makes me uncomfortable. So I don't like talking about that with a big crowd like this because I get too many weirdos. Yeah, if a brother's a Muslim or a brother's a Hebrew Israelite, they're not really the type of people could just listen to a conversation without getting personal. So I probably do that over from Kemet to Chicago. I'll do stuff like that. But over here, I'm not trying to do. I'm not trying to do no type of belief systems or no type of religion or certain stuff like that because it's just too many different people. I'm trying to do something everybody could kind of listen to without. And that gets too much like I'm pushing something I'm into, and I don't really like to push my own personal ideologies like that. I like to push my social way I think, but the personal ideology, I don't really like to push that. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good entertainment. I don't think it's good to watch. I like social stuff. You know what I mean? But I am going to do it over there. I'll do it over there though. It gets into too much personal ideology and stuff, which how to get other people to understand how you look at something like that. And then a lot of times, okay, if I'm a Muslim and I get over here, I might not want to talk about Islam because it's going to be too offensive to me of people that disagree and say the wrong thing. So then I ain't gonna want to talk about it because I'm a Muslim, and then I ain't gonna want to hear all these people saying all this anti-Muslim stuff. So I ain't gonna want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Well, like if I'm a Christian, I ain't gonna want to come over here and talk about Christianity and have people be saying all kinds of stuff. Man, Jesus was black, man. There wasn't no Jesus, man. The Bible ain't this. So why would I be a Christian and bring up something that what people just gonna be trashing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be too personal for me. You know what I mean? It'll be too personal. I done brought this up and I'm gonna get this the internet. And everybody that don't believe that gonna be saying something. So how's that a good conversation? You know what I'm saying? Because some of my conversations I'd be funny about anyway, like when I be talking about Africa, and I love Africa, but then when I gotta criticize Africa, so that'd be like, you know what I'm saying? If I don't be careful, people won't never know I love Africa because of the way I'm criticizing. Because it's Africa. Now, when I criticize Black Americans, they already know I love Black Americans. They know I'm one, so they won't take it wrong. But for me to be a foundation of Black America to criticize Africa, I got to make sure brothers and sisters of Africa don't think I'm just dogging Africa. I'm just criticizing. I don't want them to think I ain't got no respect for Africa. I got a lot of respect for Africa. Matter of fact, I got so much respect for Africa, think about Africa so much. That's why I'm always on their neck. I'm not on their neck because I don't like them. I'm on their neck because I love them. And it's Africa, and I'm pissed at the way it's going. It's not anti-Africa. It's anti what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to end this, and we're going to talk about something else probably a little bit later. But give me some suggestions. I tell you what, I'll take suggestions before I go, and I'll come back at the one that intrigued me. What y'all want me to come back and talk about? Tell in the chat what you think be a good conversation. It's 9 o'clock, 9:11. So I got to at least have an hour and 45 minutes. I'll come in an hour and 45 minutes. That'll be 11 o'clock. And what type of conversation do y'all want to have tonight? I'll talk about that. What's going on in the world? What do you want to talk about tonight? Does anybody have anything? The fog with the parasites in it. Okay. American financial situation. As far as what, Shelly, with American financial, you mean the country? Give me specifics, Shelly. When you say American financial situation, you're talking about us, how we got to function financially, or what? It's not, it's not much that I could. It's not much I could say about the tornadoes. I got to let everything keep acting up. I'll talk about that on a global or on the United States level with that, because it's going to get worse. Yeah, what is specific about the American financial situation you want to talk about? Because that's a big subject. You want to talk about the country, what they're doing financially, or you want me to talk about the citizens? Older daughter in mother's marriage. Oh, with the tariffs being lifted and the money being shaky. Yeah. I tell you straight up, Shelly, I really don't know I don't know what's going on with the economy. To be honest with you, I don't know what I would say because I don't know what's going on. What about Burkina Faso? I don't know what I would say about Burkina. Talk about importance of intermixing. Okay, you want to talk about the importance of intermixing amongst the different black groups, FBA, Caribbeans, in a way to build wealth as a race. Elon stepping away, and what does that mean for the American people? Could it just be a Q&A? Okay, El-Aton's got it. Well, it'll be a Q&A. We'll come back. It'll be a Q&A, and y'all can ask me all that stuff. Y'all ask me all that stuff. Good idea. We'll just make it a Q&A. Get your questions ready. I'll be back in an hour and 45 minutes, and then we could cover all of that. So then, Shelly, you could ask me whatever. We could go through all of that. That's the best way. Okay. So we'll do the Q&A. Give me an hour and 45 minutes. That'll be good. We'll go into detail on everything. All right. All right. Positive energy all the time. Straight up. Y'all stay positive and don't let nothing get you down. Yeah, don't let nothing get you down. And make sure you subscribe to Pharaoh Said That Live. Boom.